Jona put kívánok. Hogy vagy? Yo? Boy, that's pretty good. Not the best. This is the house coffee, so to speak. They have these little pods, and they're okay. They're not as good as my coffee at home or coffee at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or something like that. But what is today? It's a Sunday morning, which means it's a let me think. It's about 9:30 here, so it'd be 6:30 on the. Is that right? It'd be 6:30 on the East Coast, 3:30 on the West Coast of the United States. So start of another day, and you know what? I got to tell you, the weather has kind of turned here. This is as Michelle was saying. This part of Australia, they don't have a winter or a summer. They have a wet season and a dry season. And she was telling me that she was amazed that the first several days or few days of our trip that we had nice weather, rather nice sunny weather. And it's a good thing that we did all the tours in the front of the trip, the flight and the cruise and the snorkeling and all that type of stuff. It's good that we did all that up at the front, because now we find ourselves it's overcast, kind of drizzling, intermittent showers, and what have you. And to be quite honest, we find ourselves a little bit challenged at finding things to do. And for me, that's never really a problem because for me, I just sit down at my computer and I start working. And so for me, that's not finding something to do is not always a problem for me. And I need to be conscientious of maintaining my workload while I'm traveling. And for Michelle, it's more of a holiday. So Michelle's well, it's a holiday for me as well. But anyway, but she is in full blown holiday mode, and she wants to. She's itching to get out on the water and do some sailing. And for me, I'm not too keen to, cost 150 bucks to go sailing for, half a day or something like that out on the water. And we've been on the water, two or three times. So for me, it's not that interesting of a venture, so to speak. But anyway, what else is on my mind? I got to tell you that I think it was Heidi that made a comment, that I've been uploading a lot of videos. And it's true because I've been doing a lot of things. Uh, the flights and over. And to be quite honest with you, I push those videos out um, as part of my channel. I mean, I monetize those videos. And when I monetize those videos, I have the ability to write off the expense of doing the video. So if I pay $200 to go up on a plane and do a tour of the Whitsunday Islands, I have the ability to, as long as it's monetized and I'm generating income from it, uh, to some extent, I can write that off as a tax write off. But so anyway, that's kind of why I've been pushing the videos out. What's really interesting is that take her fishing. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about, and she probably would go. But then again, you're talking $600 to go fishing for a day, and I'm just not. I'm not that into fishing, to go out and spend 600 bucks to go fishing for a day. Um, so anyway, but we're gonna go on a hike today. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on a hike today, and she may go sailing tomorrow. She may take a may take her own sailing adventure tomorrow. I'm not sure, but anyway. But going back to, well, here she comes. I'm talking to my people.
Oh,
You want to say hello?
yeah. Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Sorry. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
yeah.
Um, here's your trial options, and we were going to go into the Honeyeater lookout.
The Honeyeater lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna go to the Honeyeater lookout. Google it. Okay, the Honeyeater. It's one word. Honeyeater. Honyeater. Honeyeater lookout. 8.2 kilometers return. I think that's about 4 miles. Walking is 3 to 4 hours. Riding is 2 hours. I don't know what riding means. Like it's usually like riding on my back or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what. Oh, and look at it starts pouring as we walk. Nose is getting bigger. I don't know what that means. Nose is getting bigger. I don't know what that means. But anyway, but doing the videos, it's interesting. It's to be able to travel and do the experiences that I've been doing and share them with you almost in real time. Meaning that if I do something today and I upload a video and you see me do what I did today, as opposed to waiting 2 weeks or something like that. I think Skip Smith, when those of you out there that know Skip Smith took a vacation, and and he was uploading videos for I don't know, like 2 months after his trip. He was uploading videos, but most of my videos I do. She's got some music playing on her. She brought out her iPad and there's some music playing on it. But most of the videos I don't do any editing. I just shoot my videos as I do the experience, and more times than not, it's just a matter of transferring the videos from my camera to my phone, and that's it. Well, I don't know how she thinks. We're going to do the Honeyeater walk in this rain. And I don't even think that going out fishing, something like going out fishing or cruising in the rain would be all that, exciting. But anyway, so what else is on my mind? I've been reading up a little bit on the coronavirus. When you're traveling and you're on vacation, you're kind of removed from the when your teeth are fine, man up. Your teeth are fine, man up. I'm not sure what. Okay. Anyway, the see the comments distract me. But when you're traveling, you're not as in tune with the news, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. But I've been reading up a little bit about the coronavirus, and to be quite honest with you, it's a little bit of a scary situation. The way that I think that the World Health Organization is already saying that it's a pandemic or something like that. And it's not a, guess what I use for fishing? I don't know, what do you use for fishing? But it's not a, the coronavirus is not something to, take lightly, and I don't take it lightly. But I'm just hoping, hoping that myself or none of you or nobody else for that matter gets the coronavirus. But I've been watching that, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I just kind of want to, use a little bit of caution and stay away from crowds and clean my, wash my hands and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna work my way down. Once we get back to Michelle's, we get back to the Sunshine Coast Tuesday night. And tentatively, I'm going to stay at Michelle's for the better part of a week, and then rent a car and find my way down the coast. A 12-foot 19 Coleman crawdad boat with a 500. I never. Okay, well, good. Wonderful. But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna do a slow. I think I'm gonna do a slow trip down the coast of Australia and stop in. I was gonna stop in Byron Bay, but Michelle was telling me it's kind of a commercialized little place, and she said there's some nice beaches north of Sydney, and one of them is Palm Beach, Palm. Palm Beach is a really nice beach town. So I think what I'll do is when I leave Michelle's, I'm just going to kind of saunter. That's what my dad used to say. I'm going to saunter my way down the coast and uh, and just kind of stay in 2 3 days at a time in different places and kind of find my way. Try to find my way over to the land of Oz. You are you are good, Slim Jim's good for fishing. So all right. Anyway, hmm. I need to. Michelle's making. She's walking by, making looks at me as I sit here and talk to my people. But I still got to figure out. You know what? I can't quite figure this out. So we took a flight an hour and a half up here, and rainy days are good for dinner dates, either restaurant or stay home. Yeah, I agree. I can't agree with you more. But Michelle, I can't even believe that she bought me a unicycle. You see, so she bought me this really nice unicycle, but I don't know how she was thinking that she's going to get it home. How are we going to get that on the plane? She's saying that she'll put it in her luggage. And I'm thinking, okay. I mean, her luggage was full when we were coming up here. It was at the maximum weight. Now granted, there was a lot of food in there that we've eaten, but even so. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that we go down to the post tomorrow, or UPS or something like that. We'll go down to like UPS or something and see how practical it is to ship it from here down to Michelle's. But I just don't see that fitting. I just don't see that fitting in the. Gotta fix my. I don't see that fitting in the suitcase. Did you see Blogovich, the guy Pinocchio? Vicky, I don't know what you're talking about. Vicky is somebody, for those of you watching, Vicky is somebody that sent me a friend request on Facebook. Vicky, you sent me a friend request on Facebook, I think. I think that was you. And I accepted your friend request. And then I tried calling you on Messenger. And you wouldn't answer. And I don't get it. The mysterious nature of that. People that send me, if you're going to send me a friend request on Facebook, if you're going to send me a friend request on Facebook and you're not willing to pick up Messenger and do a chat or do a talk or something like that, what the hell is the purpose of being a friend? I mean, really, think about that. People do that. They want to be your friend, but then you call them and they don't pick up. Like they're afraid to talk or something like that. But anyway, all right. I'm just babbling at this point in time. I need to get on with my day. We got to go do the what was it? The honey treat walk or something like that in the rain. They have umbrellas. They've got umbrellas for us to use. So maybe we'll take the umbrellas. I think it's called a bushwalk. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're going on a bushwalk. What did I miss? Not a lot, Melissa. You didn't miss anything. Your computer and phone could your computer and phone could break for the next your computer and phone could break for the next 3 years, and tune back into Tom TV, and you wouldn't have missed anything. So don't worry about that. Do a cooking show. That's not a bad idea. To do a cooking show with Michelle. Maybe the bike's a hint. Take the high road. It might be. Yeah, it might be. Or maybe it's a hint to join the circus. Oh, I couldn't live without Tom TV. Maybe maybe the maybe the bike is a maybe the unicycle is a hint, that she thinks I'm a clown, and I should join the circus. I don't know. Or maybe it is meet the high road. The riding is on bikes on the trail. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Very astute of you to figure that out. But anyway, all right. I need to get on with my day, folks. Anybody have any questions? I see that Bernie won. Bernie won the Nevada caucus, and isn't that something? I mean, you know what? Interestingly enough, there were a lot of people. Thank you, Vicky. Interestingly enough, there were a lot of people that counted Trump out years ago, for 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when he was talking about running for presidency. Remember that? He'll never win. He could never win. Okay, he could. Trump could never win the election. He'll never be president. Remember that? Well, God forbid something crazy happened where Bernie became president. I mean, you talk about that not happening. People talk about that could never happen, just like they talked about that could never happen with Trump. And I gotta tell you, if Bernie wins, I'm moving out of the United States. I'm selling my house, and I'm gonna move to Australia. I'll have to jump between Australia and New Zealand for the rest of my life, because you can only stay here 3 months at a time, and then you gotta leave. But anyway, so all right, time to get on with my day and let. My wife said that about Bernie today. What? That he could win? That he could possibly win? Is that what your wife said about him? That he could possibly win? I think that the situation is such that the gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting bigger and bigger. The gap between the rich and the poor, the haves and the she's afraid. No way. Okay, you do that. The gap between the haves and the have-nots, it's getting bigger and bigger. And when somebody starts preaching, about free school for everyone, free school, free health care, free whatever. People don't always vote with their head. They vote with they vote with their imagination. Bernie will never win. Too many patriots in this country. Hello, but when somebody gets up there giving all these crazy promises, these crazy promises, and talking about punishing the people that are successful. They're not paying their fair share and what have you. You start appealing to those people, and at some point in time, you just never know. The crazier things have happened. But God forbid Bernie wins. Campaign promises never happen, so Bernie is a bag of air. Trump is the greatest president in my lifetime. You know what? I gotta say, that's saying something. To say that Trump is the greatest president in your lifetime. You know what? To some extent, just based upon what's happened in the 3 years that he's been in office. He's kept us out of major conflicts. We haven't had any, knock on wood. We haven't had any major conflicts, and the economy is just, I mean, who can argue anything about the economy? The unemployment rate among minorities is at historic, if not record lows. So to say that he is the greatest president in your lifetime is saying something. For me, Ronnie, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was, in my opinion, the greatest president of all time. Ronald Reagan was presidential. Trump's not very presidential. He comes across presidential sometimes. Every now and then he comes across presidential, but these immature little tweets that he does and the name calling and stuff, although it may be funny, it's not presidential. It's not becoming of the office of the presidency of the United States. So, I just think that Trump, not to take anything away from him and what he's done. Trump has done some great things. I'm going to vote for Trump. Okay, I'm going to vote for Trump. He's right up there at the top as far as accomplishments of presidents in my lifetime. But I just don't think that he's presidential. He's not presidential. I mean, for me, that's important. When I look up to a leader, I want to look up to a leader that is, I want to look up to, nice to meet you, nice to see you, Mariposa. Uh, I look up to somebody, I want to look up to somebody that's presidential. When I think of a man sitting in a desk, or sitting at a desk, or sitting in an office, where the likes of Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, when I think of a man sitting in that office, you have to maintain a certain level of oh, I don't know. Not Trump comes across as a child too often. These little childish tweets that he does, and these little personal attacks and stuff. I mean, he loses me on that. I could probably have a lot more fun taking a road trip with Bernie than than Donald. I mean, at Tom, at the end of it, you're going to feel different. I may feel different. You're right. I may feel different, but I'm not going to feel different about actions that are unbecoming of the office of the president of the United States. The silly little tweets and the silly the silly little tweets and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, for example, when Trump was running for president, and he was talking about Carly. Remember Carly Fear or whatever, I can't pronounce her last name, the ex-president of the thing. I mean, when Trump said something like, look at that face. Who would vote for that face? That right there, when Trump said that, look at that woman's face. Who could vote for that face? I mean, that right there was like so. I just couldn't. Trump really lost my respect when he started demeaning somebody based upon their personal looks. You want to demean somebody based upon their beliefs or something like that. But when you start talking about somebody and their personal looks, even calling Mini Mike, Bloomberg. That's what he calls him. He calls him Mini Mike. I mean, Mini Mike, he's coming down on the guy because he's short. So, how does that make people feel that are short? There's lots of people that are the size of Mike Bloomberg. And here you got the president of the United States calling people Mini Mike. What does that do as far as making other people? How does that make people feel? That are short. It's not. That's unbecoming of the president, and I think that Mark would agree with me. You don't go around making fun of people based upon things that they have little or no control over, i.e., their personal looks, handicaps, stuff like that. That is not something that you joke about. So, I mean, I beg to, anybody beg to differ with me. Calling somebody Mini Mike. I mean, I laughed at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I heard that the first time I heard Mini Mike, I thought, oh boy, that's funny. That's really funny. Call him Mini Mike. Well, Mini Mike, let's say, people are going to Google how tall is Mike Bloomberg. And anybody out there that's going to be 5'4" or something like that. Mike was called the royal family some bad names. Warren slammed him for it. But anyway, that's just it. I once heard this. There's a question in the book of questions, and it is, what if anything is too funny, or what if anything is too serious to laugh about? What if anything? What if anything is, yeah, well, that's where you take the higher road. You know, when people say things about you, you don't, here comes your 50-cent word. You ready? Get ready. Get your pencils ready. You don't reciprocate with the kind. So people come and they throw, you know, mean words at you. You know, I mean, you don't necessarily have to reciprocate and lower yourself to their level. But anyway, I'm going to leave this with this thought. You know, what if anything is too serious to joke about? What if anything is too serious to joke about? And for me, what is too serious to joke about is somebody else's misfortune. Never joke about somebody else's misfortunes in life. You know, when something else, when something bad happens to somebody else, regardless of the person, you don't laugh about it. You don't make fun about it. You don't take joy in somebody else's misfortunes in life. You're just grateful that you know, you find yourself grateful and appreciative that those misfortunes aren't you know, knocking on your door at that point in time. But because I am 5 foot 3 inches, okay. Anyway, so I need to get on with my day, everybody. Okay, Michelle is patiently she's patiently waiting for me. All right, have a great day, everyone. Take good care.